and welcome to episode 68 of the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. This is my place on the internet to talk about all things crochet and knitting and crafty related, all of that good stuff. My name is Ali and I live in Kent in the very southeast of the UK with my husband and our two daughters. Thank you very much for joining me today, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff to watch on YouTube, so thank you for being here watching this stuff. It's a podcast today sponsored mainly by concealer. Lots and lots and lots of concealer and highlighter. I've had about 4 hours sleep, which I will get to later in the podcast. If you're looking for the show notes for everything that I talk about, they are in the description box underneath this video. And I also put timestamps for each section that I talk about in case you need to come back and find anything or whatever the use of timestamps is. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Starry Eyes Ali. I have a pad, 2 pads actually, because I filled my first podcasting pad right to the end, so I've had to start a new one. So I've got lots of show notes, but I'm not particularly organised. I just kind of went around the house and gathered everything and threw it at the bedroom. So we'll just see where all of this goes. And also I've got a lot to talk about, and I was getting quite stressed out about it, thinking, oh no, it's going to take me forever. But do you know what? This is going to be a stress-free podcast. It will take as long as it takes. It will take to its sport as long as it takes to its sport. It might take some while to upload. It might be quite a long one. It might not be. Who knows what's going to happen. But grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine. Grab your knitting or your crochet. Settle down. Settle in. Get comfy. It's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about today. Right, let's dive straight in. We are going to talk today about finished objects. I have 13 finished objects, which I know sounds amazing, but 8 of them are essentially the same thing. So they, that's one. And one of them's a half finished object. So, and I think one of them I don't have. So I've got 4 really. But 13 sounds more impressive. I'm going to talk about my selected few works in progress, because I'm not going to talk about all of them because my work in progress pile is ridiculous. I'm going to talk about the Strictly Sock Along, including drawing the first prize parcel winner. So we've passed the Halloween show and we draw winners from the finished objects thread for anyone that had finished objects in there by the end of the 31st of October. So I've drawn 3 winners. So stick around for that, it could be you. I've got some incoming bits. I'm going to announce the winner of my 10,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to do some sharing the love. I haven't done sharing the love in ages, so it's the return of sharing the love today. I'm going to talk about a very lovely fellow podcaster and crochet designer. And then I'm going to do, and finally, which is basically any other business and general drivel, really. Okay, so let's get started with finished objects. Now, despite my best efforts to be super organised, I've now realised I've left my first finished objects all over the house. So I'm going to have to stop the recording immediately and go and get them. Ooh, right, I've got them, but I've just remembered something before I get started on finished objects. I have got a discount code for you from lovely Naomi at Chatty Cat Creations. I will put the name of her Etsy shop on the screen. She's given a discount code for viewers of this podcast. She sells project bags and other crafty bits and hand woven items, and they're all absolutely beautiful. And she has given us a discount code for how much off? Okay, so the code is for 10% off of her shop for the whole of November, and the code is DropsCat2020, which will be on the screen now. So if you are interested in hopping along to her Etsy shop and having a look, you get 10% off if you use that code. Isn't that nice? It's always nice to get a discount, especially right before Christmas. Anyway, finished objects. So I have 2 of the 3 things that I was meant to bring up, but it doesn't really matter because the one that's not here is actually identical to one of the ones that is here. So I did Vlogtober this year, and if you were catching up with that, I posted every day a little life vlog, and I included crafty bits and all of that, and it was really good fun. I love doing vlog series. I really do enjoy it, and I get a lot of feedback from you guys to say that you enjoy it too. So thank you so much for coming along with me for Vlogtober. And I got a little bit obsessed during the month of October with making slipper socks. So much so, in fact, that I made 3 pairs and a tutorial about the pattern. The pattern is a really old pattern by Sharon Klinsky. So I show you the socks that I'm talking about. They look like this. I have spoken about this pattern before on the podcast because I've made this many times before. It looks like this. It's like a crochet bootie. My original ones have been worn to death. These are my absolute favourite ones. I love these as much as this is possible to love slippers. And the other day I noticed that I have a hole in the bottom. So I don't know if I can rescue them. I've just worn them to death basically. But I made myself an additional pair. Now these ones are a bit too big, so I might make them again and just make them a bit smaller. But I mean, they're designed to be big anyway, so it's not a huge problem. So these are mine. I made Lilia, my eldest daughter, exactly the same pair but slightly smaller. And I made Phoebe, my youngest daughter. Did I just call Lilia my youngest daughter? Lilia is my eldest daughter. She's 14. Phoebe is my youngest daughter. She is 9, soon to be 10 in about 2 weeks. A lockdown birthday, the 4th lockdown birthday in our household. And these are hers, so I just made the child size. So I've done a tutorial for this pattern and I will link the pattern underneath. It's not a secure site. It seems to be quite difficult to find, and what I've done is I've copied and pasted it into a Word document and printed it off so that I don't have to go into the site to get it. I think it might even go back to like the 70s or something. I'm not entirely sure, but a lot of people have made it. And when I was talking about it in Vlogtober, people were getting a bit confused by one little section. And I do know what they mean. I remember the first time I made them, it really did baffle me. And I think I had to go and look through project notes and find information about it. But I've done a tutorial on my channel. It's not monetized because obviously I'm talking about a pattern, even though it's free. It's not my pattern, and I don't go into it in great detail. You do need to have the pattern in front of you, but it's just to sort of guide you through the process of constructing them. So I'll put a link to that underneath as well, and probably on the screen if I'm that organised. And so if you fancy making them, you can. I hold a strand of Aran weight yarn together with a strand of DK weight yarn, because I think that's what I did on my originals, but now I'm wondering if maybe it was 2 strands of DK weight yarn, because they have come out a bit bigger than my original ones. And I used, it's just acrylic yarn, the purple I bought from Hobbycraft. They do these massive balls of yarn, they're like £12 and they're absolutely enormous. And I've made 3 pairs of socks, and I've still got all of this left, which I've now balled up so it's not just in a tangled mess. And I think I've got enough to make a hat, which I think would be really, really nice. So I might do that. Oh no. Speaking of tangled mess, I'll sort that out later. I would issue a warning though about this. So the other day I was filming for a vlog, which I'm going to publish on my other channel, which is This Little Wonderful Life. I'm planning to publish a lot more vlog content over there. And I was doing a little 3-day vlog, and I was moving a box that was in the way of my shot. And I was wearing my slippers, and the box just caught me off balance a little bit, and my feet went from under me, and I went down like a ton of bricks. I have really hurt my bum. I landed on my right bum cheek. Oh, it's so painful. I was really lucky I didn't hit my head on the kitchen cupboards. But when I was watching it back to edit it, oh my goodness me, I couldn't edit it because it was too funny. I was just laughing too much. I just disappeared from the shot. So keep an eye out for a vlog coming up on This Little Wonderful Life, because you will see that's included. Yeah, so there's the warning. It can be a bit slippery if you've got wood floors. Right, my next finished object I don't have here, so I'm going to put a picture somewhere on the screen. And it is an octo. Now, I've wanted to make the dabbling hook octo pattern for a long time. In fact, I do have an octo here to show you. I'm going to pick it up. Hang on. Okay, so I've got 2 little octos here that I didn't make. These were actually made by the designer of the pattern. So it's the Dabbling Hook, who's lovely, lovely Rel. She has a podcast here on YouTube. and she's also on Instagram as The Dabbling Hook and Etsy as well. She's so lovely, and she designs patterns, crochet and some knit as well, but she also sells her finished things as well at craft fairs and so on. And she quite some time ago now sent me and the girls a little parcel, and in it were these 2 octos for the girls. So so one of them is Lilia's and one of them's Phoebe's, and I've just been into their rooms to pick them up, and already I can't remember whose is whose. So I'm going to have to put them on the bed and they'll have to reclaim which one is rightfully theirs. And look what she does on the bottom. She puts her little dabbling hook button. That's so cute. It's such a good idea. And the good thing about this pattern is there's no sewing involved. So you make your octo and the tentacles all in one go, and the only thing you have to sew in is the ends, and if you want to do any little features on them like that. And she also on her Instagram around Halloween did a Halloween octo. In fact, she did 2, but the first one she did was a pumpkin octo. So it was orange with green tentacles, and then it had a little leaf on the top, and it was just so cute. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to copy that. I'm gonna have to copy that right now. So I made a pumpkin octo, and I've never been happier with anything so much to do with Halloween makes than this little octos. But it's away now with the Halloween decorations, so I will put a picture up on the screen. But this is such a cute pattern. You can make this so quickly. They make great little gifts, and you can really customise them to make them, you know, fit the person you're giving it to, or just for you, or whatever. And she even made one that was a Frankenstein one, so it was green. Oh, just go and have a look at her Instagram and you'll see them. I'm going to have to put these here now so they can stay with me for the duration of the podcast. There we go. Yeah, so that is my second finished object, or 4th if you count the fact that I made 3 pairs of slippers. Okay, the next lot is a batch of 8, and I have been making sparkly scrubbies. I've been using Rico Creative Bubble. Now this is going to be really hard to show you because it's really shiny. It was a gift in an advent parcel last year from my lovely friend and a huge supporter of this podcast, called Annette, who lives in beautiful, beautiful Denmark, which we really, really hope to go back to at some point in the next few years, hopefully, when we can all travel again. So I had 2 lots of this. I'd actually originally had 3, but I'd already used one. And I decided to use it to make scrubbies to give as gifts. And also because I've got a couple of these and I use them all the time. So I made out of one of the balls of blue. Oh, hang on. Sentences. Oh, goodness. Right, get yourself organised. Come on. I got 4 scrubbies out of each ball, which is brilliant. I think the 4th one of each set is slightly smaller than the rest of them, but it's fine. It's an easily modified pattern, and I'm going to link the pattern underneath. It is by Bee Hooked Crochet, I think. I'm pretty sure it's by Bee Hooked Crochet. It's called the Crochet Scrubby Set or something. But like I said, I'll put a link below. Look how sparkly it is. It's so cool. It's like some kind of weird sea creature. I just love it. I wonder if I can make it move like an octopus, like a jellyfish. It would have to be like that, wouldn't it? Stop it. What are you doing? Ridiculous person. Anyway, I've got 8 of these. So I'm going to give probably most of them bar 1. I'm probably going to keep this little one. It's a bit tiny. And then the rest of them are going to be gifts for people. But you can make these super quickly. They are so simple. They are so satisfying to make. And you can get this yarn. I haven't seen it anywhere like Hobbycraft. I haven't looked on Wool Warehouse. I'm talking about in the UK. But you can get it on Amazon. It's about £7 or £8 a ball. You can get a red heart version of scrubby yarn. And I'm going to make some more because I've also got some yarn that was also a gift some time ago, and I did grab some to show you, but I don't seem to have the label for it, so I don't know what it is, but I do remember it's called Pots and Pits. and it's this stuff. It's not sparkly. I've got this one. Oh, here it is. I've got this one and this one. It's a lot drapier than the sparkly yarn. And you can, well, like it says, you can use it for dishes, like you can the sparkly yarn. You can use it in the kitchen, or it's soft enough that you can use it on your skin, and that's what I use them for. I use them to kind of exfoliate my face or my arms or this area when I'm in the bath or the shower. And they really are gentle. They look like they won't be. They look like they'll be really prickly, but they're absolutely lovely for that. But likewise, you could use them in the kitchen as well. So I'm going to use these two to make a load more as gifts as well, and see how this one works up. So watch this space. I'll let you know next time how this yarn works up, and I'll also let you know if I find the labels so I can tell you who makes Pots and Pits. Pots and Pits yarn. Okay, the last finished object I'm going to talk about is not a finished object. It's a half finished object, but I am so pleased with this. So pleased. It is living in one of my most favourite bags. I have a lot of project bags. They're all my favourites. And I love them. I absolutely love my collection of project bags, and I love using them for other things other than projects as well. And I don't hoard things a lot, and I'm very careful about bringing things into the house and creating clutter. But when it comes to project bags, I'm okay with it. They pack flat, it's fine, you can store them easily. But this is one of my very favourite ones. It's by Mrs. S Creations, and I love the fact it's just this simple red cord with this lovely strawberry contrast fabric, and it's the perfect base for putting some of my most favourite pins on. So I've got, let's see, so I'll show you my pins. This is not my pin collection. I have a whole pin pennant right there hanging on my mirror, which is covered. I have pins on other bags, something else that I'm not sorry about. So that duck there, that is Ducky Darlings yarn. Recognise that one? That's my own pin. You are a little drop of wonderful. That is Hey Barbara. That's Ellie at Craft House Magic, and I love that pin so much. This beautiful pin says Autumn Enthusiast, and it was a gift from my friend Sarah. That is a Betsy Makes pin. This upside down sheep, that is Sybil the Sheep by Caroline Love to Sew, and that's Caroline's other pin, the second one that she did. That's beautiful. I've got a little Moomin Mama. I've got Crafty Clegg's Creations. I've got my Gryffindor pin because I am Gryffindor. And I've got my Disney Growing Up is Optional pin. And on the back I've got a message just to remind me by Chrissy Crafts. Life is one big whip. Basically, I put all these pins on it when I got the bag, and they've kind of, oh, I missed one. Got a little yarn crab. He's so cute. Yeah, and they've just kind of stayed there. But I do have room for more, so I may go ahead. So this is a bag that I always have for a project that I'm working on at home. Because I always get worried I'm going to lose my precious pins. So, and I just like the way it looks sitting on the side like that. Anyway, enough about the bag. I'll show you the project inside, the half-finished object. And in fact, the half-finished object is not really, it's kind of like a third finished object. I've made the Spooky Park mittens, well, half of, by Hannah, of Hannah from Sheep Sally. This was a Halloween mystery knit-along she did last year. And I joined in last year and made the first mitten, but let me just give you a comparison of last year's mitten. So I had gauge issues last year, basically. This one doesn't even fit Phoebe. It is absolutely minuscule. I don't know how I didn't notice until I'd finished it. So I knew I was going to have to restart, and I also rejigged the colours a bit because, as you can see, the spooky faces here don't really pop with the blue on the grey. So I swapped the grey with the blue here. So now I've got a grey cable rib here and then the spooky faces here. So as you can see, I've resolved the gauge issue. I haven't done the thumb yet because I want to do the other mitten and then do the thumbs at the same time, just in case, just so I know from one thumb to the next, so I remember what I've done. So I'm going to move straight on to the second mitten soon. I have loved making this. Honestly, I've always been a bit scared of colour work. I'm not very good at it. I knit continental and I hold both strands of colour in the same hand, and I'm kind of getting a technique for doing that now, so I am improving, and it's really bolstered my enthusiasm for colourwork knitting. So here we go. So you start with a cable rib here, and then you go into the spooky faces. I'll do it the right way up. Spooky faces there, and then you've got the weeping willows here, and you do have an option to put beads on the weeping willows, and I actually did on the original one, put little blue ones there, but I decided not to do that this time round. But I did put beads on the cherry trees. These are the cherry trees here, and then you've got the fir trees at the top. I'm not going to say that I've done the best and neatest job in the world, but I am really pleased with this for my first proper finished effort at colourwork knitting, and I'm really looking forward to casting on the second one, because there was a few nights where it just really kept me sane. You know, I really looked forward to sitting down and knitting it, and although I can only do about an hour a night, because by the time I do sit down to do any knitting it's quite late, so, and you do have to concentrate, but oh my goodness, I was so enjoying it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to knitting the second one, which I think I've now said about 150 times. Yeah, so, and that makes me think about, I have started the Molly Hugh hat, which is a pattern by Shin of Shiny Superhero, which is a beautiful colourwork hat, and I have started it, and it's making me feel a lot more confident about doing that. So hopefully by next episode you might see the second mitten, and I might try and make a bit of progress on the Molly Hugh hat as well. But don't hold your breath, let's see what happens. Okay, so a half finished object leads me nicely into works in progress, because it's still kind of a work in progress. So we're going to start with, what are we going to start with? Oh, do I show you my C2C blanket? I'll give you a quick flash of the C2C blanket. So I've been working on this for ages, and I've recently picked it back up again. And I do try to put a few lines on it every now and then sometimes I get really into it for a week and I can't put it down. But I have to admit, I have been doing other things this last month. But I'll just give you a quick show of it in case you're new and you haven't seen it before. This is a corner to corner moss stitch blanket. I'm using the pattern or the recipe by Every Trick on the Hook, which I think is Polly Plum. I'll put a link to it below, and it's on my Ravelry as well. And I'm just using minis and scraps of yarn left over from other projects, and I'm putting them in really random order, and I love it. I'm making a rectangle, so I've actually started to decrease on one side, so this side will continue to go up like that, and this side I decrease and it will start to come up flat like that. And then when I've got this side, which is going to take a while because this is fingering weight yarn in basically single crochet stitches, once I've got this side to the length I want, the shortest edge, then I can join it to do the next bit to bring it all together as a rectangle. Clear as mud, but I just love it. I love projects like this that are completely haphazard, that have a million colours in, like scraps and minis, and just throwing in what you feel like working with. And moss stitch is such a lovely stitch for showing off yarn, I think. My favourite bit has always been this bit, that mossy green colour. That was a mini by Gamer Crafting, and it was just a one-off. I really wish that it existed as a full colour scheme, because I think it's beautiful. And it's all living in my bag, and I must show this as well. I know I talk about this a lot, but I got these little stitch markers from Boo's Beautiful Things. She sent them to me to try out ages ago, and they've got the hook size on them, so you put them on your project. So if it's like a long-term project like this, you can shove your project in the bag with your little sheep on that says 3.5, and then if you have to use that hook for another project, and then you come back to your long-term project and you're like, oh no, what hook was I using? You just look at the sheep will tell you. just love that idea. And this bag is by Hannah from Sheep's Alley. I love this bag so much. It's pure Hannah, and it was included in a swap we did. We've done a few swaps, and this was, I think, a couple of years ago now. So love this project, love the bag, love everything about it. Okay, I've got another work in progress which I actually can't take any credit for, and I don't have it. And I'm actually going to put some, is my hair really mad? I'm going to put some footage over the top of me now as I'm talking, which I haven't actually taken yet. So let's hope this works. My mum's coming round this afternoon. My mum is part of our family bubble. She's on her own, and she's part of our support bubble. Although we are very careful at the moment, but she's coming round today. We haven't seen her in a few weeks, or a couple of weeks, and she wants to pop round just to talk about a few Christmas things and so on, and see the girls after school. So she's going to come round, and she's going to bring with her the collaboration that we're working on. My mum's a knitter too, and she is working on the Harry Styles cardigan. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's a J.W. Anderson pattern that they released when everyone was trying to work out how to make it. It's an oversized, ridiculous, crazy knitted patchwork cardigan. So my mum loves knitting squares. So she's doing the strips. They're not actually squares, they're strips. So she's knitting those. I got the yarn, she's knitting the strips, and she hates seaming things together. I actually love seaming things together, weaving in ends, love all of that. So I'm going to do the construction of it, she's going to do the knitting of it. So it's a collaboration where I do the least amount of work and she does the most amount of work. So I've asked her to bring it round this afternoon so that I can take some film of it that I can put on the screen, or will have put on the screen while I've been talking. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be for my eldest daughter Lilia, yeah, I think she's going to really, really love it. I think it's going to be a bonkers thing, but I think she's absolutely going to love it. So that's one of my works in progress that I really shouldn't by rights be taking credit for. I've also got my Strictly socks, which are here. They are living in this gorgeous bag, which I got last year from Julie of So Unique. Julie's on YouTube as So Unique, and she's on Etsy as So Unique UK, I think she is. And I've got my two Strictly badges on here, because I will talk about this in a bit, but I'll also mention it now. I've got my new Strictly badges. Now, if you've been following the progress of these for a while, I had a design and I got them printed, but I wasn't best happy with them. I just wanted to tweak the design a bit, and I'd done it digitally. It's my doodle, I did it all digitally on the iPad, but I don't have the proper software to do it or the know-how. That's the black version. This has been more popular than the white background version. I like both of them so much. I'm so pleased with them, and it's because to the rescue, actually it's funny that it's on this bag, because to the rescue came Julie's daughter, Adele, who is Adele's Art. I'll put a link to all of her places below. She is Adele's Art on Instagram and on Etsy. She is a fantastic artist. She really knows what she's doing in terms of graphic design, and she stepped in and helped me out, and she sorted out my design for me, and she got it exactly as I wanted it. And honestly, I could not be happier. I am such a fussy person, and where I've had when I did my original Little Drops of Wonderful pin, which is this one that I showed you, I did the design. I did a sketch, well, a drawing, and then I sent it to the badge makers, and they had to tweak it to get it to the right shape to make it so that the outline was right. We must have gone backwards and forwards about 20 times of me going, could you just move that droplet a little bit to the left, and could you just make sure that the backwards and forwards. With Adele, literally, she said, how's this? And I went, that's great, what about this? And she sent it back and we were done. That was it. She literally could read my mind. It was amazing. So thank you, Adele. Thank you so much for helping me out. You have saved the day. Saved the day. And I have more. These are completely sold out, these badges. But I do have more on the way. They've been ordered. I'm going to chase up the company today. They should be here really this week. And as soon as they are, they will go into the Etsy shop. Anyway, all that to say, this is my bag by Julie of So Unique. And I love it because it's got Lindy Hop dancers on it and vintage dresses on the inside. And it's also got knitting on the inside. And I have got my socks, my Strictly socks. I'm making the Lola Socks, which is a pattern by Jooles of So Suit Violet. and she designed the socks specifically for the Strictly Sock Along this year, and she is donating £3 from the sale of every copy of this pattern to Bill's Special Bus. I'm going to put the hashtag on the screen. Go and check out Gayna's channel, Tales from Cuckoo Land. She has all the information underneath her videos about that charity. They're trying to raise money to get a bus for a very special school that her son Bill attends. And to go with it, Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, she did the Lola sock sets, which are now completely sold out, although I do have some as prizes. And she donated £4 from the sale of each of those to the same cause as well, so that's fantastic. I'm making the Lola socks, and I'm making it with yarn by Third Volt Yarns, which I've had for a while. I'll get the ticket. Sound like my mum then, calling it a ticket. Yeah, it's Third Volt Yarns. This is her little logo. I always love this little logo. It's so cute. And it's on her Hevelin 4-ply base. It's in the colourway Ray, which is a Star Wars reference. It's quite luxurious with the cashmere in it. And I bought this at the Southern Wool Show last year. It's a beautiful, beautiful colourway, which you shall see now. And it didn't occur to me until I'd already chosen the yarn and put it together with the pattern that the dyer behind Third Volt Yarns is called Lola. And I'm making the Lola socks. So these are my Lola socks. And what I do is I knit my socks on DPNs, and I knit them concurrently. So I knit, I don't know, 10-20 rounds on one, put it down, knit 10-20 rounds on the other one, and so on and so forth. I've got little stitch markers on, which were a gift from Hannah from Sheep's Alley. And I thought they were particularly strictly-fied with their glittery glitter ballness. But look at the yarn. Isn't it beautiful? I just absolutely love knitting with this. It's just an absolute joy. And that little pattern at the front looks so complicated, and it really isn't. It's so simple. It's just a simple 4-row repeat, which even I can do. Anyway, I've done them both to the point of turning the heel. So that's good. And I'm going to do one heel, get them to the point of gusset decreases, and then start working them concurrently. Well, that is working them concurrently, but that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm really pleased that I've got this far, because usually with my Strictly socks, at this point in the game, I probably wouldn't have even done the rib for one sock, let alone got to the heel of 2 socks. So I'm really, really pleased with those. And I've got one DPN holder is from Knitting I Love, which is a really cool little one with a little popper at each end. And then my other DPN holder, oh, hang on, is by Eva of Coco and Flora. It's so cute. I'm going to talk about Eva again in a little while, because Eva has sent a prize for the Strictly Sock Along as well. I love that little holder. Okay, I think that's it for works in progress. Oh, except to say, oh, did I bring it up? No, I didn't bring it up. I've got some things in the planning. It's Phoebe's birthday on the 30th of November, and I always make my girls an amigurumi or a small handmade toy for their birthdays. One of these days I'm going to have to do a separate video all about the amigurumi in this house. If I gathered it up, I would have a lot to talk about. I might do that. That would be fun. But she has requested this year a Triceratops from one of the Zumigurumi books. Or one of the, it's not a Zumigurumi book, I lie, but it's by the same publisher. So I'll talk about that next time, because I also have the latest book from that publisher to show you and review. So it would be good to talk about that all in one go. Honestly, me and Lilia went through it last night, and it is the cutest book I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Full stop. So make sure you tune into the next episode before the end of this month to see that, because it is brilliant. So I think that is it for finished objects, works in progress. Let's move on to, hang on. Oh, I did have the Molly Hugh hat here all along. Hold on. We'll talk about that when I've done a bit more work on it. It's time for the Strictly Sock Along! News days on the Strictly Sock Along. I am loving it so far. It does feel very, very different. I'll give it that. But I do love all the glitter and joy that it brings. Yeah, I'm just so grateful to everyone involved for doing what they've done to make the show come together, because I don't know what I would have done if Strictly wasn't on the telly this year. It's just such a lovely escapism thing, and it's something we can watch with the kids without any worry about anything. And you know, our kids are very different ages, being 9 and like almost 10 and almost 15. That's quite a big age gap. So it's great to have someone we can watch together. My favourites are, I would say, Nicola, definitely, because I just love Katia as well. I think she's fantastic. I think she's brilliant. And Clara, really like Clara. The girls really like Clara. And Bill, well, but mainly Bill. I just love him. He's hilarious and he's so good. He's such a talented person and he's so clever, but he really doesn't, it's not in your face. He's very kind of self-deprecating. I think he's great. I just think he's really, really lovely man. So I really like Bill. And in terms of the Strictly Sock Along, I've got 3 top pieces of information to share. Strictly stuff. The first is we have a Tess to my Claudia. Now, obviously, I am the Claudia because I have the fringe. But I needed some help. I was getting a bit overwhelmed. There was so much gorgeous chatter going on in the chatter thread and on Instagram and the hashtag and the finished objects thread. And although I do keep up with it as much as I can, I couldn't keep up with it as much as I wanted to. And so I have a Tess. And that Tess is Sarah. She is Sarah One Daisy. I'm sure many of you already know her from the chatter thread and from Instagram. I've known Sarah for quite a few years now. We've met a few times at yarn shows, and we've got together. We got together last summer actually when they were holidaying nearby. We spent the day together and our kids all played together, and it was really, really lovely. She is a lovely human, really, really generous with her time, and yeah, she's brilliant, and she's done such a good job in like chatting away in the chatter thread and just generally being better than I am. So if you see her in there, make sure you say a big Strictly hello to her. She's there as my moderator, and what a big help she is. And she's, yeah, thank you, Tess, otherwise known as Sarah. I just thought I should say to you, keep moderating. Oh, be quiet. Why do I say these things? Right, Strictly badges. This is the second thing. You've just seen them. Strictly badges, I'll go. First batch sold out straight away, and I donated all of the money from the sale of that first batch to Bill's special bus up, which I spoke about earlier, because I felt like I wanted to do something to contribute as well. So all of the money I made from that has now been donated and transferred over to Bill's special bus. And oh, hang on, we're moving on to the next notepad. Buckle up, we're moving on. And I already mentioned that it was Adele that came to the rescue with that design. So please keep an eye on the Etsy shop or the next podcast. I'll let you know as soon as they're up, and I'll probably post on Instagram as well. But I've ordered lots, so hopefully I won't sell out this time. Well, hopefully I will sell out, because that would be good. But hopefully everyone that wants one will be able to get one. And obviously I will be putting them in with all of the Strictly prizes as well. And thank you to everyone that's already bought one, basically. Thank you for supporting my shop and buying the pins and buying the badges and buying me lovely cups of tea on Ko-fi. It's amazing and so appreciated that you do that. And I feel very lucky to have the community here at Little Drops of Wonderful that we do, and thank you, just a huge thank you. You are all wonderful. You are all Little Drops of Wonderful. And the third thing that I need to cover is Strictly Saturdays. So every Saturday on Instagram in my stories I am announcing 2 winners, and I'm alternating. There will always be a winner from the FO thread, and then it'll either be the chatter thread or the Instagram hashtag as well. So 2 winners every Saturday I announce for pattern prizes, because I've got a load of pattern prizes to give away, and I've got enough to give away 2 every Saturday until the final. And on the final I've got enough to give away 3. So that's what I'm doing. So keep an eye on my stories on Saturdays until midway through December for Strictly Saturdays pattern prizes. I did manage to glitter balls it up a bit last week. I announced the winners and then contacted the winners and said, oh yeah, you've won this, which was different to what they'd actually won. But it all worked out in the end. But it does mean I'm just such a donut, and sometimes I think there's so much to remember that I just get really overwhelmed and confused. And what I should have done was, instead of trying to rush and reply to people, was sit down with my spreadsheet and go, oh yeah, no, that's what they've won. But it did all work out fine in the end, so it doesn't really matter. I didn't really need to tell you that. I could have just pretended I'm very, very organised and nothing ever goes wrong. Okay, the Halloween prize winners. Yay! I drew the 3 winners this morning. At the moment, I didn't write down how many entries there are in total, but there are loads. There are way over 200 finished objects in there already. And as of the end of the 31st of October, there were 146 finished Strictly socks in the finished objects thread. I've drawn 3 winners. The first one was post number, I used our friend Alexa to draw the winners, by the way. So the first one was number 120. And that is I Am Sarah, I Am, and that is Sarah, and she's in Wiltshire. It was her first Strictly sock along, and she knit some gorgeous green stripy socks. And Sarah, you have won the gorgeous, whoops, I just dropped a jingle bell. Wool is the Answer Christmas stocking pattern, but not just the pattern. Whoop. You've also won a jingle bell and the yarn to make the stocking, and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't want to take it all out and mess it all up, but it's beautiful colours in there. It's all bunched up together. You've got a little Merry Christmas in there from the girls, Marie and Dominique at Wool is the Answer, and all these beautiful colours, and the pattern as well. So that is yours. If you could get in touch with me on Ravelry, or email, and just let me know what your address is, and I'll get that in the post to you as soon as possible. I wanted to make sure I gave away some of the Christmassy things quite early on, so that you've got them in time for Christmas. The next winner was number 53, and I was just occasionally in the Strictly Sock Along, a winner comes up and I go, oh my goodness, it's you! And this time it is Zooey73, Nadia! In Germany, it's you. Nadia has been a long time commenter and supporter of this podcast, and I recognised her straight away. She's absolutely lovely. I was so pleased to see that she'd won. She cheat because she's been knitting her Strictly socks whilst listening and watching Hamilton, which came up a lot during Vlogtober. So she connected Hamilton with the podcast with Strictly. There you go. So that's how she's cheated. And Nadia, you have won Christmas yarn and Christmas markers. So this is in a packet, so it's going to be quite difficult to show you, but have a look as well on the prizes thread, which is fully up to date now with all the prizes, and you will see a good picture of it there. It's from Green Lambkin yarn. Ooh. And the colourway, from memory, the colourway I think is Christmas Eve Magic. It is sparkly, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and you've got a little Christmas gingerbread man stitch marker in there as well, and some lovely tea, and that's from gorgeous Suzanne at Green Lambkin Yarns. She's on YouTube as well. And you've also got this gorgeous little bunch of stitch markers, Christmas themed stitch markers, which is going to be hard to show you, and you've got some lovely Christmassy tea and a lovely Christmassy smelling candle, which honestly, it just smells lovely. I can't get them all to sit right. Look at the little man! And there's like other Christmassy things which won't behave and sit the right way round. And they are from AJ and Me Handmade. So that's from lovely Millie at AJ and Me Handmade. Millie and Aidan. That's her little boy. So she's donated those, and I'm going to put those with the Christmas yarn for you, Nadia. I think I might have your address already, but I'll get in touch if I don't. So you've won that, well done. And the third winner for the Halloween prize, because I was going to draw 2 and I was having so much fun drawing winners, I was like, I'm just going to draw another one. So I'm going to do 3, why not? So the third winner was number 7, proving that even the early numbers come up. And that is Granny Fly 81, that is Rena, or Rena, R-E-N-A. She started early, that was her cheat. And you have won, Rena. Oh, some more stitch markers from Millie at AJ and Me Handmade, but this time they are autumn themed. Let's see if the autumn themed ones will behave. And you've also got tea and a gorgeous smelling candle as well. And again, if you go and have a look at the prizes thread, I've taken really close-up pictures of everything there. So if you go and have a look at the prizes that are up for grabs, including the pattern prizes, and also anything if you've won, you can go and have a good look and get excited about it before it arrives. And you've also won a skein of yarn from Lone, who I think I described incorrectly the last time. I think I said her username was different. Anyway, she is a lonely sock lady, a lonely sock lady yarn, and she has sent some of her Copenhagen's Rooftops yarn, and it's actually self-striping, and it's gorgeous, and they are really autumny colours, and they're inspired by the rooftops of Copenhagen. Again, beautiful Denmark. Look at those colours. Ooh, I just want to keep holding it up and looking at it. So that is what you've won, Renna, along with the stitch markers. So if you could get in touch with me on Ravelry or on email, my email is underneath the video, and I'll get those sent to you. I'm not sure where you are in the world, it doesn't say on your Ravelry. So those are the first lot of winners. Hurrah! Well done. 10 out of 10 for all of you who have won. And I think that leads me nicely on to incoming things, because I've got some more Strictly prizes. So I'm just going to stop and start the camera, let it cool down a bit, and maybe plug it in. And then I'll be back with incoming wavy lines. Oh, I went to get my portable charger in case my camera starts to need it. It's only 10 to 10 in the morning. I normally have my one Diet Coke with lunch, but I think I'm going to have it now because I'm really hot, so I don't want to drink tea. But my mouth is dry from all this yabbering. How do you put up with it? Sweet Diet Coke. I love it, but I have to have it out of a can. Is anyone else like that? If we're on a car journey, and Dan's like, do you want anything from the garage? When he goes to get petrol, I'm like, Diet Coke, but only if it's in a can. Otherwise I'll just have water. It has to be a can. Feels like a snack. It just makes me sound really odd. Okay, incoming. I've got some more Strictly prizes. So one was a surprise. I didn't realise she was going to do this. And the other one, actually no, two are a surprise. No, I'll tell you as I go, rather than trying to predict everything. Eva of Coco and Flora, if you don't watch her podcast, well, it's not a podcast, if you don't watch her channel, you have to go and rectify that. She is a very calm, softly spoken person, very, very creative. She sells handmade bags and sewn items in her Etsy shop. And she does studio vlogs where she kind of talks about a specific project or something she's getting ready. The latest one I watched, she was getting ready to put together a project bag, and she talked all about the bits, like the stitch markers and the bag, and she's a very good filmmaker, I would say. She's very talented filmmaker. She knows how to put something together that's interesting. So I definitely recommend you check her out. She's also really good at wrapping things, and I've destroyed the wrapping so I can show you the bag. She sent a Christmas project bag. So this will probably be one of the prizes for another one of the early on drawings. So there were three more prize categories, or four, I can't remember. But when the first 10 is awarded, will probably be the next one. And also there's a prize category for Blackpool, and I haven't checked whether or not they're still going to go to Blackpool or not. So I'll keep you updated on that. The prize categories will remain the same, just the time I draw them might change. Anyway, prepare yourselves for this. Look at this from Eva. Isn't that beautiful? The stitching, the little stars, all of those patches sewn together, and they are all perfect kind of vintage, subdued Christmas colours, and then the lining is this gorgeous sort of, it's understated Christmas, isn't it? And the other side has got all patches as well. I love these little mice that building snowman. Oh, it's just beautiful. And she's got her, where is it? She's got her Coco and Flora label there. Everything she does is exquisite. So that's going to be exquisite. That's going to be a prize very soon. So thank you, Eva. That was completely unexpected and very, very generous of you to send. Thank you. She sent me something too. And I couldn't believe that she sent it to me, because it was like she was some kind of telepathic being. Because I was watching her vlog and I saw her making these, and I looked at this particular one. She made several, and I remember thinking, that is just gorgeous. I've got a cushion in the same print as this, which I get out at Christmas. Couldn't believe that she'd sent this to me. She sells these in her shop. They're little pouches. So I've got one, look at the vintage, the old style Christmas lights. And we actually have these type of lights on our tree, because I'm very old school when it comes to Christmas. And look at that vintage deer print there. I've got a cushion with this print on, so I just can't believe that I've got a matching pouch for my cushion. And then these little buttons that are on the front, she hand makes these buttons, she covers them herself. And in one of her studio vlogs that she did, you actually see her making these. So you undo the little thing and it folds out. And then you've got a little pouch to keep your things in. Actually, oh no, I might go and see if she's got non-Christmassy ones, because this would fit my little charger. The bag for my charger's broken. This would fit it perfectly. And it opens out like that, and then it's got the same lining as the bag that I showed you, and her little Coco and Flora badge there. Oh, it's just dinky and perfect and gorgeous and lovely. Thank you. And it just makes me, this kind of print, there's something about it that just hits me somewhere in the Christmas spirit deep inside. It's just fantastic. Thank you, Eva, for that beautiful present and prize as well. I had another prize arrive from Cheryl at Cherry Pie Crafts. Now I knew this was coming. It was coming all the way from New Zealand. I did offer her the option to send it directly to the winner, but she said, no, I want to send it to you to send, because then I can send you something as well. So I was like, okay. So she sent a prize and something for me as well. But not only that, and I've had to hide these from the girls because I wanted to show you on the podcast. She sent some New Zealand sweets. She sent pineapple lumps, the original pineapple lumps. I'm really looking forward to trying those now that I've held them up to the camera. I'm gonna run out of room. And then Whittaker's made in New Zealand peanut block, which we're all intrigued by. Look at the size of this thing. I can't wait. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And then she sent me two bag and pouch sets. So I'm going to show you the prize first. Shall I take? Yeah, I'm going to take it out of the packet because it's fairly easy to pop it back in again. Oh, it's all beautifully tied up. I don't want to. Oh, I am going to untie it. I'll re-tie it up beautifully so that I can show everyone the pouch. Oh, the zip is gorgeous. This is a boxed pouch. It's so cool. It's got a little detachable handle here. The zip is like proper, look at that. It's like iridescent. And it's got a proper little pulley on it. It's really sturdy. It's got her label on it there. Ooh, I'll try and get it sit properly. I'll show you the label on the bag. You'll be able to see that properly. And then on the inside, it is lined in a really dark floral fabric. So pretty. It's really lovely, this print. And the print on the outside is kind of like a fern, like a tie-dyed fern. I really love this. We did agonise a little bit over which one to keep and which one to give us the prize, because Phoebe loves purple so much. She was kind of like, she was helping me choose, of course. Can't make decisions like this by myself. So we did agonise. And this is the bag that goes with it. So it's got the same kind of zip and the same detachable type of handle. Got that beautiful purple fern, almost tie-dyed like print. That's her label there, Cherry Pie Crafts. And then again, the lining is this beautiful sort of dark, oh, it's very sophisticated, this bag. Feels very sort of grown up and sophisticated. Isn't that lovely? Really beautiful. So that's a set which I will now wrap up beautifully again. In fact, I'll just leave it there so I can do that afterwards. And then the one that she sent, the other one that she sent that we've chosen to keep, the pouch is the same. It's a box pouch. I'll try and get it to open up. In a beautiful kind of shimmery dark fabric. I'm not doing a very good job of doing this. And again, the label is there. Got a black zip this time. Same detachable handle, and I've got a little moon on there and her label. And this time, the inside is lined with the brightest purple. It's so clever. The contrast is beautiful. Really, really lovely. And the way she's done the seams, because I've made these box pouches before and they do always have exposed seams, but she's kind of encased them. So it's all really, really neat. I mean, little details like that make me very happy. So clever. You know what you're doing, Cheryl. I can tell. And then this is the bag. Ready? It is lots and lots of Not My Cats. So if you watch my vlogs or if you've been watching my channel for a few years, you'll know that next door's cat won't leave us alone, basically. She thinks she lives here. She was in this morning. And we're not cat people. I'm not an animal person really, but Phoebe really, really is. Her dream is to have pets. Lily is horribly allergic to Mia the cat from next door. So we can't have her in too much. And we can't have our own cat or dog because of her allergies. I also wouldn't want a dog because I know the work that would be involved and I know that I would not be able to commit to that. But we would like to get maybe chickens. We talked about this a bit on Vlogtober. I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, we are thinking about maybe chickens. I had a dream about it last night. I had a dream there was a chicken in the garden and it was like really dog-like, like in its mannerisms. Where am I going with this? Anyway, this is the bag that I've chosen. Psychedelic Cats. And again, the inside is that beautiful purple. And this just makes me very, very happy, this bag, to add to my beautiful collection of project bags. I love it so much. Thank you, Cheryl. That was so generous of you to send something for me and for the girls with the sweets as well. Thank you. Right, what else have we got to show? I got a gorgeous little DPN holder from a lovely viewer of the podcast called Lisa. And I just wanted to show it because the print is so gorgeous. And she very kindly sent me this with some tea and some other little crafty bits and some stitch markers. And it just arrived and it was a complete surprise. And so nice of her. And it was just as a thank you for the videos and for October. And it was lovely. It was all in a little pouch and can't wait to use that. It's very spring-like. I love it. So thank you for that, Lisa. That was a lovely surprise. And I also got my Beaches and Birdsong Mini Skein Club, which I'm now a member of. I was very excited about this one. During Vlogtober, I did a lot of filming of mushrooms and lichen. I got a bit obsessed with lichen during lockdown. And the theme of the Beaches and Birdsong Mini Skein Club for November was chanterelle and lichen. So I've got lichen here, which is so pretty. Honestly, I'm so thrilled with this mini skein club. And look what's on it. Little toadstool stitch marker. It's gorgeous. And then this is the chanterelle colour. Really beautiful. They're really coming together, these minis as well. They're really kind of cohesive with like month to month. So I think I might save them to make one project with. I'm not sure. It's just lovely. I also got some Kinder chocolate, which I've successfully managed to hide. And I'm going to eat that once this podcast is done, if it's ever done. How long will we go on for? What else have I got in my bag of goodies? What's this? Oh, yes. I got a lovely surprise gift in the post from my friend Hilary, who has been a hugely supportive person for a long time. and she sent me some onion soup because I couldn't get onion soup here, and she's now sent me loads of it, so I've got a really good supply of onion soup now. I've got it all in a box, and I managed to pick up a couple of packets back when we were in France in the summer as well. And she sent me a few bits. I'm not going to show you everything, partly because some is kind of all over the house getting ready to be put in different places, including some soap, etc. But I wanted to show you the yarn she sent me because she's called it, as you know I make dodgy bags, she's called it Dodgy Spinning Job. So I'm assuming, Hilary, that you spun this yourself. And looking at it, I would say that this is far from a dodgy spinning job. I think that looks immaculate. Look at that. Could never even think of doing something like that. It's so soft as well. It says it's first edition fibres from 80% Australian merino and 20% silk. Hand wash only. God, that is soft. That is going to be hat or cow material, that, isn't it? I don't know if I've ever knit with hand spun before. Or crocheted with hand spun. So thank you, Hilary. And she also sent like some girl guiding badges from Australia, because the girls have blankets with badges and stuff on. She sent girl guiding badges from Australia. Oh my goodness, the excitement over that. We had them all laid out and they were looking at them all, and they were talking about, she sent one that was for bushfires, and they remembered watching that on the news. And yeah, so it was a really thoughtful gift, and it sort of, you know, sparked conversations with the girls as well, which is always good. I'm just going to plug this camera in now. It's getting angry. Okay, we're all plugged in. I've got another incoming thing to show you. I hope this isn't boring, seeing stuff that I've got in the post. I really like sharing it. I know I am spoiled. I do know that. I am very aware. I just think it's nice to share gifts, because gifts are given with such heart, aren't they, and love, and I want to talk about it. So this next parcel was a completely out of the blue surprise from Susan in New Zealand. It's funny that I'm talking about New Zealand a little bit in this episode, and things that have come from there, because my dad, who we lost in 2018, he actually lived in New Zealand for a few years in his childhood. He's Scottish, both my parents are Scottish, and they moved from Edinburgh to New Zealand for his dad's work. He actually started primary school in New Zealand, and he was there for a good 2 to 3 years before they moved back to Edinburgh, and he finished school in Edinburgh. Anyway, so New Zealand makes me think of my dad, really, when I don't know why, because I know that he had that connection there. Susan, anyway, in New Zealand, sent me a massive parcel of handmade bags. Out of nowhere. I was like, massive parcel of handmade bags. I emailed her, and I can do with them what I want, prizes or otherwise. So I've actually given one. I let my mum choose one. She chose a purple one. She was thrilled to bits with it, Susan. She was so pleased. And I sent one that had chickens on it to my sister, who was equally thrilled, because my sister did actually have chickens. And the rest of them I have here. So I've got a pink one, a flower and gingham one, purple and flowery one. Oh, I like this one. This is a bigger one, black with flowers on the bottom. I like the contrast there. Butterflies there. So what I'm going to do is I might use some of them as Strictly, to go with some of the yarn prizes with Strictly, and then I might save some of them for future giveaways as well. So thank you, Susan, that was incredibly generous of you to do. She said she's had lots of fun sewing during lockdown, and she also sent a few other bits with this bag. So I love the contrast of the pink with the black and white. Isn't that nice? I love black and white with bright colours like that. So this is for me. And she also sent, so I'll put the link below and on the screen to the video where I talked in Vlogtober about the little creatures she sent, little toys, a tiny little bunny rabbit and a tiny little doll. I can't show you them because they're in bed right now in the Sylvanian house. Phoebe's got it all set up with their little handmade cosy memory blanket, and if I were to disturb it, I would be in big trouble. But I did show it in Vlogtober, so I'll try to remember to put the link on the screen so you can go and have a look at them. They were beautiful. And she sent me some New Zealand yarn, which, like I say, for some reason New Zealand makes me think of my dad, so that this feels very precious to me. And also she said it was bought locally, she's been trying to buy locally, and yeah, so that makes it precious as well. It is called Yellow Sapphire, the colour, and it is by Kiwi Yarn. I'm going to show you the thing. Yeah, so it's by Kiwi Yarn and the colour is Yellow Sapphire, and it is 100% merino. It's got a bit of a halo on it, can you see? I don't know if that'll come out. Yellow is my absolute favourite colour, and this yellow is like a gold yellow, and I love it. I think this might need to be a hat or something around my face or head. I like the way that looks. And she also sent me the most lovely fabric, which looks like cross-stitch sampler fabric. My sister's a cross-stitcher. So Jenny, if you're watching, I might have to make you a little bag with this. Can't see what it says. Breath of romance clings to the old ship. A breath of romance clings to the old ship. Wherever I go, over land or foam, I always think of home sweet home. Well, that's nice. So I really like this. And there's an, actually, maybe I could just make a massive bag. Anyway, stop thinking out loud. So thank you so much, Susan. That was a really lovely gift. And yeah, like everything I get sent, I really honestly treasure it. Absolutely treasure it. And I keep things, I know I say this all the time, but I keep things like this and then I open it up again. Like I've just got it again. And just relive the receiving experience over and over again. So thank you, everybody. Right, ba. Oh, I also had another huge parcel, but I'm not going to have time to talk about that today. I'm going to try and get my head around it to talk about next time. The lovely Ruth, hello Ruth, has been gorgeous, and she'd won a prize with BTS stuff in it and like K-pop stuff, so she sent it for the girls. And as she was sending it, she put in a load of yarn for me, and she said, use it for whatever you want, give it away, give it as prizes, keep it. So I'm going to go through it and see what I can bear to part with and what I can't. There was two sets. Anyway, I won't talk about it. I'll talk about it when I show you. Stop rabbiting on. But thank you, Ruth. And then, like I say, I'm going to talk about, I had a book come in for a review. The lovely people at Meteor Books, who are the publishers of the Zumagurumi books, have sent me over the years quite a few of their publications because they know how much I love them. I'm a huge fan of the Zumagurumi books, and I make a lot of amigurumi. And like I say, I am going to put together a video of all of the amigurumi I've made, if I can find it all. Well, stuff I haven't given away, because I think that would be a really interesting video. Oh, I nearly forgot as well. I've also got, well, we were sent some masks. So a lovely mother and daughter called Ella and Camilla. Camilla's only 17 and she's sewed us all the most beautiful masks. I've only got mine to show you because all three of the others are already in use. Two of them are in the wash because they were used yesterday, and one of them is in the basket downstairs, and I grabbed mine. I saved mine because they are just amazing. They fit so much better than the ones I've made. I've actually emailed them and said, what pattern did you use? It's amazing. She's only 17. Mine's yellow. It's so comfortable as well. I'm so pleased with this. It was just as a thank you for Vlogtober. Oh, crazy hair. And also Ella dyed me my own little skein of yarn. She dyed this herself. So pretty. She also handmade, just for me, a little stitch marker. How pretty is that? So thank you very much, Ella and Camilla, for that lovely little parcel of loveliness that arrived. I'm just sorry I don't have all the other masks to show you, but what can I say? They're all in use. They absolutely love them, especially Phoebe. Phoebe's had strawberries on them. Okay, giveaway winner. How long have I been talking for? My goodness, this is going to be a long podcast. I announced a giveaway last episode for the 10,000 subscriber prize. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed and who's here. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the fact that I get to do this and sit and talk about crafty stuff and yarn and have people enjoy it and keep subscribing. Thank you so much. And I opened a Ravelry thread. There were 236 entries for this prize. So it was a pattern prize, any pattern at all from the gorgeous collection of patterns that Jane, who is at Probably Jane on Instagram and Ravelry, she's got absolutely gorgeous patterns, and she's a lovely lady with a very interesting job teaching crafting, and she offered up a pattern prize for the podcast, and I bought some yarn to go with that. So, and the yarn was from Loom Wool, which is this one. Oh, every time I open this up, the label falls off. I think I'm going to have to put a little bit of Pritt Stick on the sticky bit that holds the label together. This is the yarn. It's Loom Wool. It's called Faded Seaside Glamour. It's hand dyed here in the UK in Somerset. And it is just beautiful. The speckles, I talked about this last time. The speckles, they are just perfect. I get all a bit unnecessary about speckles, and it came with a bit of Burden Blend Tea, so I'll include that as well. So I went in this morning, closed the thread, and I got our friend, our artificial intelligence friend, Alexa, to draw a winner at random. She drew number 154. I've screenshot the entry because I did do a prompt, which was tell me about your favourite seaside place. The winner was MF Hall 259. I don't know anything else about you. There's no name on your Ravelry profile. You are a mystery winner. But your picture, your profile picture, is of an alpaca. So you must be a good person. And she said, my favourite seaside place is St Simon's Island, which is located off the coast of Georgia in the southeastern United States. The gorgeous live oaks and Spanish moss add a sense of mystery steeped in history and lore. It is a magical place. And it sounds like somewhere I need to add to my list of places to go post-COVID. So yeah, congratulations, you've won. So once you've seen this, get in touch with me on Ravelry or email, give me your address wherever you are in the world, and I'll get that sent out to you. And also we'll talk about what pattern you would like, and I'll put you in touch with Jane at probably Jane. Right, okay. I've also got an exciting giveaway to announce next episode, by the way. Really exciting. I was very excited to get this message full stop because I was a little bit starstruck that she'd messaged me. But I've got, yeah, it's going to be brilliant. So please make sure you tune into the next episode in 2 weeks' time. I'm hoping to get back into my more usual schedule now that October's over, but then Vlogmas is going to start again. So who knows what's going to happen. But the next podcast will be in 2 weeks' time, and I will have another exciting giveaway. I am raising my eyebrows, but you can't see because of my fringe. Sharing the love is back. Okay, so I've sort of bumped sharing the love for a little while because I've been talking about the books and stuff that I've been reading, but we'll do books and stuff next time. I'm bringing back sharing the love because someone's been grabbing my attention recently, and I have actually mentioned her on sharing the love before, but I just wanted to give her a shout out because she's working so hard at making crochet her business. It is, of course, the gorgeous Clarissa of Crochet Cakes. She has the Crochet Cakes podcast and website, blog. She is producing lots and lots of free patterns on her blog. She is producing regular podcasts where she talks about her design process, her inspirations. She talks about other things around crochet and yarns, and she's very natural. She's very much herself. She's got her own, she knows what her style is, she knows what she likes, and she's just lovely to watch and listen to. I used to watch her, I've watched her for years. She used to podcast with her mum, Caroline, who is Mind and Muse Crafts. And I just want to share the love with her because she's working so hard to share her passion for crochet with the world. She's set up the website where all the patterns are free. You can support her by buying the patterns on her Etsy shop as well. But they are all available for free. She's putting that all out there on her website. And I'm going to put a picture up of a couple of my favourite of her patterns on the screen as I'm talking. She publishes her crochet patterns in English and in Spanish because she's actually Puerto Rican. She's from Puerto Rico, and she now lives in Florida. I think her husband might have been from Florida. Her enthusiasm for the craft of crochet is just really, really infectious. And I can really see how hard she's working at bringing it to the world and sharing her love of it and trying to make it her job, basically trying to make her living as a crochet designer and podcaster. And I think she deserves to be able to do that. And I just wanted to share my love for her podcast and her designs. And I'm hoping my absolute favourite of her designs that I've seen recently, although I do like a lot of them, is the Bobble Bobble in Time. Is it the Bobble in Time top? If it isn't, I'll correct myself on the screen. And she's done it in this amazing brightly coloured contrasting yarn. But I do have some skeins that could possibly work for something like that. Now obviously she is a beautiful girl, but it might not look as good on me, I'm quite sure. But I really do fancy giving that a go. Anyway, go and check out Clarissa Beth on her YouTube channel. She is crochet cakes just about everywhere. She's also running a crochet along with her mum, Caroline. It's the Oddment, hang on, I wrote this down. The Oddment Cardi Cow. And they're using scraps to make the Oddments Cardi, which is a recipe, a video recipe by Zena of the Zines and Roger podcast. I'm not sure how long it's running for. I don't think they've decided yet. It's just ongoing. And I think you can also enter any kind of scrappy project as well. I'll put the link to it below if there is indeed a link to where to go to find out the information. So, but you might be interested in that. It's kind of like a crochet version of the Harry Styles cardigan. So go and check Clarissa Beth out. Okay, we've finally made it to the end of the podcast. What a lengthy one it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of editing involved after this and a lot of tea drinking. And finally, it's just going to be basically me filling you in on everything else. So thank you to everyone that joined me for Vlogtober. You will know from that Dan is still out of work. That's my husband. He lost his job during lockdown. He was made redundant, and he finished work on the very end of July, and he's still looking. It's quite difficult. We're not in a situation where we're panicking just yet, but as you can imagine, we are constantly like, he's got an interview next week. So if everybody could just keep their fingers crossed for the whole of next week that Dan gets this job, that would be great. Thank you very much. Just send a little bit of luck our way. I've uploaded a weekly vlog on this channel. My hair is so crazy. So that will be the last video before this one. And I just fancied doing it. I was missing doing Vlogtober. I wanted to do a bit of a vlog to see how it might work doing a weekly one, because that's what I intend to do for Vlogmas. And so if you want to go and watch that. There was a Q&A on the way. We promised, Dan and I, that we would do a Q&A, and we got a load of questions that people left for us. We just haven't got around to filming it just because it's been a really busy few weeks, but that will be on the way, I'm hoping, by the end of November. I've been sorting out all of my video files and electronic files, and sorting out how I store all my vlog and podcast footage and how I organise it. And I realised that I've got a lot of stuff that I've done for my other channel, This Little Wonderful Life, and I'm really quite proud of some of the stuff we put up there. And some of the stuff, all of it, not just some of it, yeah, some of it's rubbish. Yeah, no, I'm proud of that channel, and I like the fact that I've got a place where it's about our life, or my life, and our family life, and it's not solely about crafting and stuff, although obviously my life is 80% crafting. There was a lot of crafting involved, so that always crops up in the footage and the vlogs over there. Drawing and crocheting and knitting and all the other stuff that I like to get up to, and I really want to produce more vlog content over there, and get into the habit of just doing maybe weekend vlogs, or a random daily vlog, or a couple of days in the life here and there. So if you have been enjoying the vlog content, I would highly recommend you go over to This Little Wonderful Life and check that out, and I'm going to try and upload some more stuff over the coming months. I absolutely love the process of making videos. It's another form of sort of creativity and craft for me. The taking of the footage, the thinking about what I'm filming, the putting it together, the choosing of the music. I love it. I do enjoy that, and I like learning about it and learning new tips and tricks and stuff like that. So it's definitely something I want to keep doing and improving on. So that's why I'm going to try and do a bit more on that channel. And I think for that reason as well, that channel's not monetized yet. When I do Vlogmas, I'm going to do it over there. Bit scary. Because obviously this channel is a sort of safety for me. I know you're here. But if you are interested in watching our Vlogmas this year, our family's Vlogmas, make sure you head over to This Little Wonderful Life and press subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and wait, because we're going to be doing Vlogmas over there. My intention is to do vlogs every 2 to 3 days. That's what I'm intending to do. Yeah, so head over there and watch that space. But you know, don't unsubscribe here. Stay here too, but subscribe to both. Because then I'm not cluttering up this channel, I guess, with vlogs. It feels to me that then I can concentrate on my crafts and knitting vlogs and videos and podcasts here, and then have a separate area where I can like just do daily life stuff, so you know where to go for each thing. I hope that all makes sense. But make sure you hop on over, press subscribe, because then you'll be all ready for Vlogmas. You're probably like, why would we want to go and subscribe somewhere else when you've just kept us here for 4.5 hours? I'm going to shut up now. It is now 10:30 in the morning. I don't even know what time I started this, but I'm pretty sure it was 9 o'clock. And I've got to go and tidy up the absolute carnage, yarn carnage that is around me, and go and make sense of this in the edit. So thank you so much for making it to the end and for listening to me drivel on for all this time. And I will be back again in 2 weeks with the next podcast, maybe even some more Strictly winners if we get a 10 in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we will. And lots of other lovely crochet, knitting, crafty stuff to talk about. So until then, happy knitting, happy crocheting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.